talk this week is about freedom, being able to choose and explore. Freedom means anything is possible, so our sense of choices expands. Yet our jobs, our titles, our whatevers can develop into a sense of a loss of freedom as self. We think and imagine that not enough money, education, support, love, the family dynamics, etc., are limiting our choices. It can also include confusion, chaos in our worlds. Things disappear and show up in unexpected times and places. As self, we create order with its control function into reality out of personal bias and miss the spectrum of information in all directions and influences. Even what we create has a certain level of consciousness present, whether it be a pencil, a book, or an illness. When we engage this consciousness and free, like that word, of our limits imposed by self, we can connect with these supposedly non-reactive, non-responsive, non-human, non-living materials as if real. Maybe not as verbal conversations, but in some layer of sensory expression. I have these conversations all the time when I realize in the moment that they are possible and would be helpful. It makes my life interactive and participatory and not just a repetition of a stuck place. When you realize that everything is something, and there is just a blink of an eye between something and not, your sense of freedom is present. We are free to think what we want. Really. We can have these conversations from within different perspectives all the time. We can be in prison on physical, mental, emotional, psychological, psychic, and spiritual levels. These encompass the human experience, and we are still free to think what we want. Ask the spirits of Nelson Mandela, Senator John McCain, and others still in body who have been incarcerated. What they did, what do they think while they were and are in these situations dealing with the stresses. They are free to use the time and space to get creative and aware, or hold on to the past. We can be told what we are feeling, and it is not true. We can feel what we are feeling, and it is only a moment and not a lifetime, unless you have habituated your current feeling sensation into your reality state. Freedom comes not from denial, but from understanding that we are much more, and even much less, than what we think we are in any one moment. How our relation to freedom shows up for each of us is individual and collective. It is helpful when we are free to make mistakes. That is how we learn and refine. It is helpful when we are free to feel and express our emotions in useful ways in the moment, not those shunted to the buried graveyard of unexpressed, rotting, powerful, hidden agendas that get created. It is helpful to be free of our burden of thinking, to break the important and powerful ability of mind to make habituated reactions into fresh responses. It is helpful to be able to laugh at oneself and join in with God laughing.